The first generation BMW X3 was a bit of an oddball. Lacking both the aesthetic appeal and the dynamic prowess BMW is usually known for. And let's not even talk about the brakes. Those were bad enough to make you consider an insurance premium upgrade. Thankfully, BMW got its act together with the subsequent generations, improving the design, the driving dynamics, and the suspension, making the X3 one of the sportiest mid-size luxury SUVs out there. But in today's tech-obsessed world, where your buddy's Hyundai or Kia has more gadgetry than your luxury crossover, BMW had to step up. And step up it has. It is the techiest BMW X3 and it is out to out-tech, out-glow and out-sophisticate everything in the segment, making sure that no one is going to question your luxury car purchase for a really long time. The moment you walk up to the car, it lights up as if it's preparing for a gig in Las Vegas. Everything from the headlights to even the kidney grille has a glow to it. And then you'll also see the carpet lighting on the side, which lights up everything from the front door to the rear. And has an M logo on it because you see, this car, irrespective of the petrol or the diesel powertrain that you choose, only comes in India in the M Sport trim. It doesn't feel like it's waking up from some deep slumber. There is a sense of occasion to it, and I quite like it. In terms of proportions, this is the tallest, widest and longest X3 ever, though its wheelbase is just shy of the Mercedes-Benz GLCs. You may not immediately notice the sharper character lines, but you will definitely see the tail lights, which now ditch the previous gen's plier-shaped design for something more sophisticated. A sleek, arrow-like design that finally looks like it belongs on a BMW SUV. The front grille is, well, lit, quite literally. Now, some might think it's a bit much, but hey, if Mercedes-Benz can get to have a glowing logo, why can't BMW flaunt its nostrils? And if you still think it's a bit too bling, you can always turn it off. The adaptive LED headlights are now fancier too, with a blue signature resembling BMW's premium cars and the laser lights. And guess what? The laser light nomenclature is gone, but with all the techie goodness still intact. You probably walked past the BMW iX1 long wheelbase when you were on your way to check out the new X3. And let's be honest, you probably gave it only one look. But if rear seat comfort is going to be utmost priority for you, I think that car deserves a second glance from you. If you haven't subscribed to the Overdrive channel already, please do so now. And if you have subscribed, then you would probably know what I'm talking about. Step inside and it's all about illumination. BMW has gone full sci-fi with the ambient lighting, which isn't just decorative, it's interactive. If I were to turn on the hazard lights, it starts flashing red to tell me that I have switched on the hazard lights. Similarly, if I were to make changes to the driving modes, right now you can see the blue and red, that's a part of the sport. If I were to move to efficient, it all turns blue and white. And again, if I were to shift to personal, it gives me a different combination. So all these settings can be fine-tuned. You can even change what color combinations you want depending on the driving mode. You also get chunky lighting for the space in the tunnel console, but this is more form than function. The light doesn't really light up anything inside the storage space, but gives it that big outline. BMW likes to call this the jewelry box. Sounds like something that will complement the grandma clock in a Mini Cooper. But speaking of Mini Cooper, what you also get is this fabric trim for the dashboard and for the doors. The dashboard now features a new 3D fabric mesh trim, which is a welcome break from the usual wood or piano blacks, and it looks modern. But keeping it dust-free in Indian conditions might be an absolute nightmare. At the center of it are these two massive screens in that curved display layout and running OS 9, something very similar to what we've seen with the BMW iX1, which means that they are tech-laden but button-starved, which means that everything is a part of the touchscreen menu, even the AC controls. And if you have to navigate through any of that, you have to navigate through a maze of menus. Like for example, the temperature controls hard-coded, but
All that you can do with it is change temperatures or toggle the ventilation seats. If you want to do anything beyond that for the air conditioning, good luck with that, because you have to go through multiple menus, multiple icons to even switch on or switch off the air conditioning. It feels more like the layout of a flight simulator than a car's infotainment system. What I do like, however, is that the blower speed control for both these discrete air vents is a touch panel that is a part of this ambient lighting bar. And even these switches for changing the direction, quite nicely done. They have a nice tactile feel to them.
That said, there are some genuinely useful tech additions. Augmented reality navigation, instead of just arrows, the system overlays graphics on the camera feed, pointing out the exact lane or exit to take.
The 360-degree cameras also double up as surveillance cameras. Yep, when your car is parked, if you are unable to find it in a big parking lot, or if your car is stolen or towed away and you want to check the surroundings of your car using the camera feed, you can do that using your car app or My BMW app. Similarly, if someone were to bang into your car when it was parked, or even bang their door while opening it in a parking lot against your car, if that bang is loud enough, the car is going to record 30 seconds of footage, before and after footage, and then save it on the hard drive itself so that you can retrieve it later. Helps with the claim settlements, helps to track down those offenders, etc. And if you want to do the recording on your own for something, you can have up to 30 seconds of recording while you're on the move as well. So all of this, I think, is again quite handy.
A full color heads-up display. That's one of the best in the segment.
One more function is the reversing assistant. Now, this is not a great place to show it. It's quite open, but in case you have parked in a really tight spot, it will remember the last 50 meters of driving that you did, even after you turn off the car. And then you can simply use the reversing assistant to basically reverse the car out of that situation. Like, for example, my hands are completely off the steering. All I need to do now is give it the accelerator. It remembers the last 50 degrees of inputs that I gave, and it's doing it all on its own. So this can be very well put to use in tight parking spaces, and getting out of those is going to be a walk in the park. There are three ways in which you can access the car. Traditional key, boring. You also have the key card, very convenient. You can keep it in your wallet, and something that we've seen even with the iX1. The third way is going to be your cell phone. That can work as a digital key. But unlike before or some of the other cars that do it, this one doesn't need you to touch your phone onto the door handles. No, simply keep it in your pocket, it detects it, and you can walk right in. Even further is your smartwatch. Again, you don't have to touch it or anything. It will detect the key and you can simply open the door and walk in. How cool is that?
Tech aside, comfort levels have gone up too. The panoramic sunroof is now bigger than a 65-inch television, giving the cabin a more airy feel. Free-zone climate control ensures everyone stays happy, even if your co-passenger likes their cabin as cold as the Arctic. The power-adjustable front seats come with adjustable bolstering and now have a ventilation function too, perfect for sweaty Indian summers. Oh, and let's not forget, BMW has officially ditched the run-flat tires in India. You now get proper tubeless radials, which means a softer ride and less anxiety about finding a tire shop at midnight. ADAS Level 2 now includes adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and emergency braking, making highway drives effortless. And it works pretty well in our conditions.
The X3 comes with two engine options for now. There is a 2-liter petrol and a 2-liter diesel. The petrol puts out 190 PS of power. The diesel puts out a comparable yet slightly higher 197 PS of power. But it puts out a whole lot more torque, 400 Newton meters. Compare that to the 310 Newton meters of the petrol. What that translates into is a slightly quicker 0 to 100 times, 7.7 seconds instead of the 7.8 of the petrol. And it's almost a second quicker than the outgoing X3 diesel. Not just that, that torque is also quite nicely spread out. So both your initial as well as at mid-range is really, really strong. And top end, well, the top end fork is really, really good. Enough to get you plenty of speeding tickets in the current scheme of things. we have said this in the past as well, that BMW diesel engines are really, really good. This one, however, takes it to a whole new level. The gravelly note, even when you are driving without the music, is not evident at all. The only thing that you hear inside the cabin is the road noise and a little bit of wind noise when you are at highway speeds. Otherwise, the engine refinement is simply superb. What I also like is how this engine performs. The tractability in the city, brilliant. Cruising capabilities on the highway, again, excellent. You're looking at fuel efficiency figure of over 15 kilometers to a liter without really doing much, without really having to be too conservative with the way you drive. And that's something that I like. So that way, it's got everything covered. Great drivability, great tractability, and excellent fuel efficiency.
The 8-speed automatic gearbox remains smooth and responsive, and the xDrive all-wheel drive system ensures you never feel underconfident, even when the tarmac sort of disappears.
What I don't like this time around is that the engine braking is a bit too strong. I understand if the engine braking is that strong in the sport mode, definitely helps, but even in the efficiency mode, it's a bit too strong for my liking. It makes the vehicle feel a bit jerky when you're driving in city traffic. And even the physical brakes, they feel a little artificial, over-assisted at times. So braking is something that I'm not too impressed this time around. But once you get a hang of the deceleration, the acceleration provided by this engine is an absolute joy. You will love this engine. So does that mean that the X3 is still the best car in the segment when it comes to driving dynamics? Yes and no. Yes, it's still the best car because the other cars still feel quite soft. No, because it doesn't feel as darty, as point and shoot as the outgoing X3. I was absolutely impressed with the outgoing X3, so much so that it just made me fall in love with the X4 instantly because that made it sportier still. The new one, however, it feels a bit lethargic. It feels a bit heavy. It feels like it's throwing its weight around on the outer wheels a bit too much when you're attacking the corners. You do get adaptive dampers which stiffen up the chassis to the moment you're in sport mode. Even then, it still doesn't feel as point and shoot as the outgoing car. That said, you'll still have a lot of driving fun. The grip from the tires is excellent, the suspension behaves quite nicely too, and the steering feedback is again amazing, just the way it should be in a BMW. This is one space where it doesn't feel like it's over-assisted or tech-laden, and that's a good thing. It still feels pretty natural. So save for the brakes, nothing about the driving dynamics feels tech-laden, and I say that in a good way. The steering, the way the engine delivers power, nothing feels artificial. Everything feels like it wants to make a connection with you, which is exactly what a BMW should be.
The diesel remains an excellent choice, and I'm sure the petrol would be a treat too. The in-gear acceleration is brisk, but if that isn't enough for you, there is the boost mode.
This left paddle will give you that quick boost of power and torque to make that quick overtake or get that quick kick of acceleration if you so need. There's a 48-volt electrical system that enables just that.
It will only assist and make the boost felt if there is load on the engine. Otherwise, you won't really notice the 25 Newton meters of additional torque, unlike you would in an EV.
Circling back to the engines, like I said, only two options for now, but the 50i could join the ranks soon, and that will be a whole different beast.
The X3 M50i looks just as good or similar as the X3 M Sport seen here, but has a 3-liter straight-six petrol engine delivering 400 PS of power, good for a 0-100 sprint in 4.6 seconds. That, though, is a story for another day, hopefully soon. As for the 2025 X3 xDrive20d, it arrives at a crucial moment for the luxury SUV market.
To sum it up then, if you are a driving enthusiast and don't really care about too many features, the older X3 can still make for a great choice. So if you already have one, I don't see a point why you should upgrade to the next one. If you don't have one, you may be looking at the pre-owned model or maybe an ex-dealer stock.
And for those cross-shopping with rivals, the 2025 X3 makes a compelling case, not just as a driver's SUV, but as one that finally feels as premium inside as it is to drive. With prices soaring and features often playing catch-up, BMW has flipped the script by offering a tech-loaded, well-equipped package without pushing it into an unattainable price bracket. The shift away from run-flat tires, the addition of high-end tech seen in flagship BMWs, and a well-calibrated mix of driving engagement and everyday usability signal that BMW is listening to the market. The X3 now stands as a true luxury SUV, not just in badge, but in the sheer depth of its features, drivability, and comfort.